My Aula Unicorn mechanical keyboard was cheap when I bought it, but now it's cheap, dirty, and ugly. So we're gonna fix some of that. I've been using this thing for about 5 years, and I haven't cleaned it since I got it. I looked down the other day and realized just how disgusting it had gotten, so I figured it was time to give it some new shine. I wanted to get started, but I don't really know anything about mechanical keyboards other than the fact that I like the clicky noise and the fancy lights. So I started off by going to AliExpress and ordering myself 4 bags of the very cheapest keycaps that I could find. I got myself a white set, a black set, a gray set, and a red set. And after the 6 weeks it took for them to arrive from China, I was finally ready to get started. I figured that my first step was going to be taking off all of the old keycaps. Now, I didn't have a keycap puller, so I just did this with my fingers, and it did indeed start to hurt after a while. It took me about 20 minutes to get off all of the keys, and I only really had issues with the keys that had bracer bars, which I didn't know were under there. Now, my biggest problem came in the form of the spacebar, which if I had just taken a step back and thought about it, I could have figured out why it was being so stubborn. But no, I decided to go at it with brute strength, a knife, and a screwdriver. Eventually, after I snapped the side off of it, I got frustrated enough that I thought I should probably go at this with my mind instead of my muscles. After looking at the keyboard for 2 seconds, I realized that right here, there were 2 screws in the back of the spacebar. Once I got those screws off, I was able to remove the spacebar and the faceplate, and then begin cleaning this monstrosity up. I used some compressed air to blow the debris off of the keyboard, and then switched over to the much more labor-intensive Q-tip and isopropyl alcohol method. Once the keyboard was clean enough to eat off of, I switched my attention to the faceplate. I blew away the dog hair, sprayed it down with pine sol, and then got to scrubbing. Now that I'd made the keyboard less disgusting, I could go on to making it less ugly, and the first step to doing that was a fresh coat of paint. I plan on using the white keycaps on this keyboard, so I opted to go for an all-white theme. I put 2 layers of flat white paint on the faceplate, and then brought it back upstairs. I spent a good 20 minutes getting all of the hardware back together and thinking about what design I wanted for my keycaps. Because this is a lower quality mechanical keyboard, there were a few keys that had to remain from the previous set, specifically the spacebar, the enter key, the shift key, and the caps lock. Unfortunately, the spacebar has a very weird backing, and none of the new ones would fit, so I'm stuck with my broken one. I decided to go with a white outer shell so that I could accommodate those keys that were left over. I put gray keys for the internal rows, and I feel like this has an old school MS-DOS vibe. After I got those in, I decided I needed a pop of color on my frequently used keys, so I went with the red, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. Thanks for watching, and I hope this video inspires you to breathe some new life into your old electronics. See you next time.